Bear in mind this was late 2009 when I was only 10 at the time. Me, my mother and stepdad lived in a small town in Sweden in a big house. If you were upstairs you could still hear talking down at the kitchen, so it wasn't that isolated. One evening I was home alone at the house because my mom and stepdad were going to my grandma's house. I asked them if I could stay home alone because, as a typical 10-year-old, I thought I was too grown up for a babysitter. After about an hour of nagging, she gave up and told me I could stay home alone only if I kept the door locked and never opened to anyone. It was really exciting for me, and I stayed up really late watching cartoons. If I remember correctly, I was watching SpongeBob in our living room and eating ice cream. After about 5 minutes of eating the delicious ice cream, I was sure I heard a silent knock on the door. I didn't think much of it and continued watching the show. Another 5 minutes passed and I heard the knocking again, but this time it was much louder. I was frozen in fear and waited for the knocking to stop. After about 30 seconds, the knocking stopped and the only sound was the TV. I called my mom and she said she'll be home in 20 minutes, and she told me to go into my room and lock my door. I went into my room without turning the TV off, so it was pretty loud. I sat in my room and after about 2 minutes I heard somebody not knocking but banging really loud on the door. I was frozen in fear once again. After about 3 minutes I could hear the door lock turn and somebody walking in. The person was inside my house while I was home alone. I sat there in my room quiet and then the TV turned off. The footsteps were louder and it felt like it was coming towards my room. After a couple of seconds the steps stopped and I could hear knocking on my bedroom door. And an old man said, "Let me in. I have something for you." I started screaming and crying for my mother and the old man started shaking the door handle. After 2 minutes I heard a car outside, so I looked out the window. It was my mom. I opened the window and screamed for help and said that there's a man in my house. My stepdad quickly ran to the shed to get his axe and ran up the stairs. The man quickly ran out the back door and my stepdad ran after him into the streets. My mom called the police and my stepdad calmed me down when he got in. This is an experience I will never forget. Thank you for reading this. When I was like 6, I was at the supermarket with my mom and my 4-year-old sister while my mom did the shopping. We were near the end and she realized that she had forgotten something in the freezer aisle, so she sent me and my sister back to get it. I'd always been a pretty paranoid kid and I never trusted, and still don't, all the strangers around me, even though I live in a really safe place where nothing really ever happens. Now I'm kind of glad that I'm like this. While my sister was reaching into the freezer to get the bag of whatever it was, I noticed this weird guy in a long black coat wearing all black. I don't remember what his face looked like because I was quite young, but I just remember he was wearing all black. He looks at me and I get this uneasy feeling in my stomach. While my sister's looking for what we need, he's just staring at us and I slowly grow more fearful of him. I think he noticed that we weren't with our parents and started walking towards us. I tell my sister to hurry up so we can go back to my mom. She gets the stuff and we leave the aisle to go look for my mom, but as we leave, so does the creepy guy. Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence, I think at first. But he still gives me a bad feeling, so I tell my sister to hurry up and we pick up the pace and start walking faster. I look back and my little heart skips a beat as I find out he has also picked up the pace and is gaining on us. Now I tell my sister that we need to go and I grab her hand and run as fast as my little 6-year-old legs will carry me, her trying to keep up as I pull her along. I look back to check and find that the creepy guy is now running after us. Obviously he was a lot taller and faster than us and probably would have caught up soon, but I looked down an aisle and saw my mom and ran to her. The guy was still running when we got to the aisle, but when he saw that we were with my mom, he slowed down and stared at us as he walked by. Needless to say, I didn't leave my mom's side at the supermarket for quite a while after that. My story isn't a long one, but I think it's quite creepy, so I thought I'd share it. I've created this account to tell you. This may fit better into another sub, so please let me know. Thank you. I don't really remember this happening, so I'm telling you what my mom has told me, and it certainly freaks me out every time I hear it. My mom had taken me shopping with her to our local supermarket when I was 4. She did her best to make sure I stayed close while she put things in the trolley. At some point she became distracted for no more than a minute and hadn't noticed that I wandered off. She has still never forgiven herself for that. She told me she has never felt fear like it, not knowing where I had gone. She began running down the aisle, and when she turned the corner, she saw a woman holding my hand walking quite fast towards the supermarket door. My mom said she shouted my name, and when I turned around, the woman let go and ran out of the shop. She described the woman as entirely normal looking, and she never expected anything like this to happen. Over the years, my mom has always thought about it being the worst moment of her life. I'm not a mother yet, but I know these things can happen. Kids wander off, and all it takes is a split second. We got lucky. Thank you for taking the time to read this. What's up, guys? This is Dylan from Dylan's Fear Files here, and I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I've just been reading the crap out of a lot of stories, and it's been really fulfilling to get a lot of work done, and it does look like I'll finally be getting on a consistent upload schedule. It only took me a year. But, so I think I'm gonna at least be doing one video a week, and hopefully, eventually we'll get to at least 3 videos a week. It just depends on how things go. But I'm glad you all watched the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like, share it, and comment, and subscribe. Stay spooky, my friends.